Do you want to just give a brief introduction to who you are and what you're going to talk about today?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Shihan. I'm wrapping up my degree at University of Toronto, studying public policy and environmental science. But surprisingly, I didn't start this way. I was initially enrolled in life sciences, but a summer internship back in India, working against the coal mine expansion, which was more the double the extent for what it was existing already, really changed how I saw environment policy and development. That inspired me to take environment and public policy. Since then, I have been working with multiple nonprofits, think tanks, and sustainability organizations like International Council for Local Environmental Initiatives and new market funds, working on impact investing, climate adaptation, and climate planning. Yeah, so that's me, and I'll probably be talking mostly about my experience and how youth can also contribute to impactful climate work.
To talk about the topic of youth climate action, what advice would you give to young people who care about the climate but have no idea where to start in terms of climate action?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I will take my own example. I was studying biology. I studied sciences for my whole life. Didn't really have a strong background in environment and climate, but I took the risk. I started working with a nonprofit who work with the people affected from the energy expansions. And that really changed, that gave me the on-ground exposure to the impacts of climate change and related energy activities. And that sparked my interest so much that now I am running a fellowship that allows youth like me to work with nonprofits and get the experience in the climate space and start their career in sustainability, climate action, or any other related fields. So yeah, you can see my journey, like someone who didn't know anything about climate to someone who's actually helping the youth to get such kind of experience. So yeah, if you're interested, we are always there. So I work in Lift 360 right now, and we have this climate resilience fellowship program, which helps you to get such kind of experiences. But also, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of other such experiences where you can go and work with nonprofit, get on ground experience, understand how it actually works, and get started with your experience.
And would you encourage more young people to move into climate related work? Do you think that that is a developing space for young people who are interested in science and the environment?
There has been few changes recently because of the political climate, but still the job markets as well for climate related work is blooming these days. For me particularly, I got so many opportunities in related to climate change, and I'm pretty sure there are more such opportunities. Even in corporate spaces, they are opening jobs like sustainability analyst, and also there's a lot of ESG roles. So even if you're kind of working in corporate spaces, there are also this small branches within these corporate spaces you can actually do some climate work. So yeah, please go ahead, even in any way possible. If you're interested, take that role.
Hmm. And you mentioned there briefly about the political climate. Do you think that is less willingness from the government and international politicians to do something on climate right now?
Yeah, I do think so, because that has been a challenge since the start of the climate movement for sure. There have been leaders who have been quite supportive, but there also have been leaders who are extremely against. They even refuse to believe that climate change is an issue. So that really pivots the funding environment and affects the climate work as whole. But despite that, there are organizations who find creative ways to sustain. For example, the organization I worked with, the International Council for Local Environmental Initiatives, they have created a blended finance model so that they can sustain their organization, where they work with municipalities with their climate adaptation plan, and they get some funding from the municipalities for the work they do. So moving from the typical fully grant-based funding model to sustainable blended finance models really helps the organization to continue their work, uh, and allowing youth like me to pursue their passion, addressing such important issues. Yes, political climate is challenging, but I think that demands more creativity and engagement from organizations and like youth like us to continue the work we are doing.
How do we, as a non-profit, find opportunities and then the people to get involved with those? Now, how can we act as facilitators?
Right, right. That's a great question, actually. It's quite sad that a lot of young people are not able to involve to the extent that they need to be in this space. But the things that have helped me is organizations like International Council for Local Environmental Initiatives. They open up a lot of volunteering role, which provide them a lot of space to develop their skills before they actually get into a proper climate role. So I would encourage the youth to get into those volunteering opportunities, even if it's work without pay. But the pay can not be like, it can be more than the materialistic sort of returns that you get a lot of skills through that opportunities, and organizations can develop more such robust opportunities for youth so that they can also learn a lot of skills while volunteering rather than providing just the capacity. So it's obvious that nonprofits like face a lot of problem when it comes to resources. But when you develop internships, volunteering internships that actually also focus on the development of the youth, they will be encouraged for sure to join and continue working with nonprofits, get the experience, and also pivot into roles that actually pay, and also they can sustain their career in climate space. Yeah. And our fellowship program is also aiming to do that. So we partner with nonprofit organizations, and we provide that capacity to the nonprofit organization. And at the same time, nonprofits give that experience to the fellows to get the skill, to develop the skills so that they can pivot into the career in climate space. And from our experience with that, youth came in with like they were not that excited. They were like, yeah, it might be a normal volunteering, but now they're extremely enjoying the experience and they have gotten a lot out of it. And we are hoping to scale this project for sure.
We've spoken a little bit about, opportunities for young people in climate science and in nonprofit spaces. But what do you think about more direct climate action? So say, planting trees, attending climate protests. What advice, if any, would you give young people who are looking to engage in direct action for the climate?
Yeah, I think my understanding of direct action has really changed over time. Initially, I did work on ground, working on protests back in India. But there are also ways you can actually work directly. For example, my experience with International Council for Local Environmental Initiatives was developing plans that the municipalities will actually implement. So that is direct climate action. So there are multiple ways to involve in direct climate action. And I would encourage you to also look into a lot of other ways in which they can directly develop climate action, apart from protest and planting trees, by contributing to municipalities, contributing to adaptation plans, and also working with nonprofits that are actually doing the direct work. That also helps a lot. So if you're not able to go to the protest and plant trees, at least do this. This can be done remotely as well. For example, if there's Planet Watch, they are doing such incredible work in climate space. Volunteering them through remotely also is direct climate action. So, yeah.
I guess a little bit of a personal question now. In terms of the projects that you've been part of and the work that you've done, what stands out to you as like your proudest moment? What do you feel like you made the most impact doing for the climate?
Yeah, that's a really tricky question because I treasure all of my experiences. But one of my proudest moment is this climate resilience fellowship with Live 360. I got to develop this fellowship from scratch. Then I proposed it to my managing directors, Lisa and Darcy. They immediately liked it. Then we planned the implementation in a month. We implemented it. And this month, like on April 30th, we have our final symposium of the fellowship program. So that'll be first batch. So I could see the impact on 15 fellows directly through the plan that I developed. And this is just the start. And we are hoping to have more such fellows who can get experiences like through nonprofits, and they can expand their career in nonprofit environmental spaces. Is that makes me extremely proud and grateful for Live 360 for allowing me to actually be able to do that. So yeah, this is one of the most recent moments. I can say this is the proudest moment for now.
Live 360, is that something that young people in Canada could apply to, or what is the situation in terms of accessing those fellowships?
Yeah, Live 360 is a nonprofit organization based in Canada, and we primarily work with youth. And we will have our second batch of fellowship coming fall. Please apply. We'll be expanding. There'll be more roles. We only took 15 fellows this semester, but in the upcoming cycle, there'll be more spaces, more this semester we focused on adaptation, but we're also hoping to expand on mitigation. So yeah, please apply. The applications will be open around August. Yeah.
Give young people 3 tips
Mhm.
for getting involved in climate action. What would those tips be?
Yeah, first, if you think that you want to get in. Like, find opportunities, find ways. There are always opportunities out there. Even if you don't find, text someone who is actually working on that in that space, and I'm pretty sure they'll reply. Funny story, I got into Lyft through a single text. So if you're passionate about it, just go ahead and take the risk. Second, have hope. I know this is a very uncertain sort of time to be in, but do not lose hope. Hope is all we can have. And with that hope, we can do a lot of things. And yeah, and always be open to start something on your own. So if you feel like the spaces out there is not something that you really want to work in, the niche you want to work in, start something on your own. It might sound overwhelming at the beginning, but even if it doesn't work out, you'll learn so much out of it that you will be able to contribute more in impactful ways. So yeah, take risk, have hope, and be creative and start something on your own.
Great. That's really good advice. Thank you.